All right, cool. We are live. I need to change that intro video. All right, cool. Live on Instagram, live on everything. Let me do this real quick. What's up? What's up, everybody? I need to delete this. No, I need to add. 1 second, yo. I hope everybody is well. This music's a little loud. It's been a hot minute since I've been solo streaming. I've been doing the other podcast, you know, like everybody, the Story Forge, no, the best ever author storytime podcast with Dom, but that's on Tuesdays. So, you know, time to get back to doing the singular. There we go. We're no, we'll do a new logo. How about desktop? I am gamer. Let's put that up for now. Hey, buddy. It's my cat. You can't see him. He's over here. I'll put that up there. Okay. That's there. And then bing bong. Comments. All right. Okay. Everything is good to go. So today's what's up, bro? Today's goals. Chapter. Okay, this isn't the wrong one. So I got chapter 1 to finish of book 7 of From Chef to Crafter Conqueror. Book's done. I just have to edits and read. The first draft is done. That's just to say that the first draft is done, and now I need to do edits. But I'm not going to do that on camera because can't have people stealing my work. I guess that's a thing people are talking about. I don't really love this music. What's going on? Let's see if there's something else, too. How about focus? Oh, I like these. Hope I don't get killed or whatever. Not killed. You know, YouTube jail. Probably. All right. So what am I going to do today? I'm just going to talk some crap about stuff. I've been looking at all these YouTube videos for the last while, and I haven't been on. And I don't know. People are talking about these author numbers, like these sales numbers from like the traditional publishing to like non-trad publishing, I guess you would call it. Let's do this. Let's go back home. Retro. Here, let's do this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Let's go lower. Okay. First things first, time to pimp the books. So, oh yeah, let's see if I can. I've got a son coming in a few weeks. I'm having a son. I know I've talked. That's one of the reasons I haven't been streaming by myself. I just have tons of things to do. Here, you want to see this guy? Hi, cat. Say hi. He likes to sit right there. Anyway, and the other one is up there, but she'll come down a little bit. All right, let's fix this. Okay, so anyway, I'm having a son in a few weeks, so that's one of the reasons I haven't been doing the solo podcast stream thing. I also had to go to Denver and do the Lit RPG Con, which was great. You know, it was a really good time. Had a blast. You know, I didn't. I'm saying that, but I did not have a blast. Like, it was super well done. Everybody did a great job. The con was great. Everybody's super nice. Except for like a couple people, but I'm not gonna call them out because they know who they are, and like they already have enough issues with like their personal lives and like how they look, and like, you know, they're kind of crazy, but they know who they are. I don't need to name names, but everybody else was dope. The reason I didn't have a good time, Keystone IQ, was again, my wife's pregnant and I'm having a son in a few weeks. And so it was the first time I was gone away from them. And man, that like, gosh, wait, no, I don't want to do that. I want to share this link for this stream. Ooh. But so I was stressed out the whole time, you know, and that was rough. Like it was rough. That being away from the family, I never had to go through that, you know, and like for me, it was hard. It was really hard. Like I never thought. Wait, no, this is a different podcast. The being away from your family, you know, like because I don't have any kids. It's my first kid. It's my first time having a kid. It's the first time having a pregnant wife, and it wasn't like I was scared of something happening to them, but I was scared of something happening, and I wasn't there to do anything about it. Like I was so far away, and that was what was scary. Like I didn't want to be, you know, God, 3,000. How far is 3,000 miles? I think, or maybe 1,500 miles and like 3,000 kilometers, something like that. Anyway, I was so scared of something happening and I wouldn't be there. So that was like rough on my like daily disposition. So like I just couldn't enjoy myself in Denver like I wanted to. Like, and just like, you know, go out, talk to everybody and like, you know, just be super social. Cause like in the back of my mind, I was just like, but the panels all went well. Everything went good. I'm pretty stoked about how it went. Overall, like I think all the panels went really well. I got to talk to a couple people, meet a few people. So that was good. I definitely want to do it again next year if they have me back. I'm pretty sure they will. Cause I'm pretty good on the panels, you know, like I don't have a problem. What episode is this? 3? Episode 3? Yeah, I think it's episode 3. Let me see. What does it say? Episode 3. That's right. Episode 3. And let's click the link. Boom. And let's do a little, whatchamacallit? Blah, blah, blah. Nah, that people can take a look if they want. But, yeah, so that was rough. But I think I'm okay now. Like, I think I got used to it. So, let's see. Talking smack about stuff. Working on From Chef, Book 7, Rewrite, Chapter 1. And talking smack about stuff. All right, let's post that. Okay. So I decided to do these because of the accountability. Like that's why I started the streaming back last year for the con. So I guess it's a year now. You wouldn't know that by the numbers. You wouldn't know that by the numbers of subscribers to the podcast. And you wouldn't know that by the numbers of subscribers to like my social media. But you would know it by the numbers of books I am selling. So like, it is not, okay. How do I explain this? Let's just explain this the right way. So like, there is not a direct correlation to your SEO, your social media, and your book sales when you do this. And, oh shit. You came from a random clip of me and my friend Pocket watching Matt Dinneman. That's funny. That's funny. Well, thank you for watching, man. I appreciate it. But what I was saying, there's not a direct correlation from your social media numbers, streaming, and your book sales. And this is both ways, like good and bad. Like, so we'll go into this in a minute, but Andrew Givler, he just put out a book called Ironbound. So if you are watching me for the first time or you don't know, I'm sure most people came from the lit RPG space or science fiction fantasy space, the writing space, because that's what this podcast is. I'm a writer. I'm a science fiction fantasy writer. And originally I started this podcast about a year ago, almost a year ago to now, to hold myself accountable for writing and then to market my books with clip farming. So if you've been watching me or you've seen any of my clips, I use Opus Clip, and what I do is I take these streams, I use Opus to clip them, and I've used those as marketing tools because marketing is super expensive. If you're a writer or you want to be a writer, which basically what this podcast is about is writing, the industry has become crazy saturated. Like, I want to say the numbers in 2023 were about, well, that's probably wrong, 2022. So if you go from 2022 to 2026, so in 4 years, the amount of books being published on Amazon, self-published, was about 400,000, I want to say. And now it's like 4 million. Now that span also might be like 10 years, but I could be wrong. I could be like making that number up. I can search it in a second. Like, let's see, number of books per year on Amazon KU 2020. Wait, okay. No. Added a Kindle Limit each year, factoring the total catalog. Okay, so this is the wrong number we're looking for. So right now, it's crazy high. How many books were published X on KU in 2020? So it's 1 million to 1.4. Okay, so now it's 4 million. I know now it's 4 million. So it must have gone from like 2016. So 2016 is when 2017 is when I started publishing. 2017 is when I started publishing on Amazon. And there, that's better. No, wait, there. And now, let's do this again in 2026. So now it's 4 million. So every year there's 4 million. That's this year. That's not right either. So are they saying that now there's 4 million titles a year? So it was 1 million titles and now it's 4 million titles. But that seems like a wrong metric. So like, how many titles per year for the last 10 years have been added to Kindle, Amazon, Kindle? Give me the breakdown each year starting in 2016. See, so here's what just happened. So they said it was up to 4 million, but in 2016, the milestone was 4 million total ebooks globally. So that doesn't make any sense. So the numbers are off there. What I, okay. 2024, 32 million mixed. That's not the right one either. Let's take a look at this. This is 2017. That's not right. This will show the change. So this is talking about 2010, 2017. And back then, if anybody has been in the space, back then there was not many writers. And so you were kind of guaranteed, if you put a book out in the space, in a digital space, you would be like grandfathered in and you'd have readers. That's changed now. And that's the whole point I'm talking about. And I'm pretty sure that this is not, they're not able to see, if it was 4 million ebooks in 2016, then the numbers of 4 million a year now make more sense. I can't find that article, but I wanted to talk about this along with there is a new traditional publishing article that came out with numbers versus indie publishing, and the numbers are skewed. And I'm pretty sure it was on this. Let's go to YouTube. I'm pretty sure it was on Author Update. Adhar. That's funny. Okay, here we go. This is the one I want to read. I hope they have like that's a month ago. All right, So I'm gonna pause that. We're gonna do a reaction video to these guys. I like this podcast. They're dry. They're conservative, which I kind of like more and more as I get older. I know that's kind of weird, but no, it's not. The older I get, the more fucking get off my line I get. Get off my lawn. That was another thing about the con. Like, okay, so this is posted. Like, I'm super polite and I'm very, very kind, but I don't know if I'm very nice. Like, there's polite, kind, nice. These are three different things. Like, polite and kind are like you're just not mean to people and you have good manners. Nice is like you're nice. Like, you're just a nice person, and I'm not a nice person. I'm like, polite and kind doesn't equal nice. I don't know if that makes any sense. So like, I'm not nice enough to like sit and listen to somebody talk for 30 minutes about something I don't care about. But I am polite and kind enough to tell them I appreciate them talking, but I gotta go. Like, I don't know. There's a difference. And that's one of the things about the con that I know this is like what I was talking about before, but like, let's pull it up. Let's look at the Lit RPG Con. I want to leave that. So it was in Denver. It was great. It was a good time. Everybody was there. There were so many people there. It was just a million guests, like just guests and panelists, like up the wazoo. Like, everybody in the space was there. So I got this thing. I want to move my face over real quick. Let me move my face over to the side. I'm a big basketball fan. I love basketball, and I grew up in the 80s and 90s for basketball. I love Jordan. I love Magic Bird basketball. I love Jordan. Like, those are the heyday for basketball to me. And one of the things is like Michael Jordan had this sicko mindset where he would like make up people's sliding him and like just create things out of nothing to like to motivate himself. So I'm not a sicko, but Adam Beswick is like a best-selling author, right? He does lots of books, but like I kind of know him. I met him. He probably doesn't know me, but he's a friend of my friend Dom, who I do the podcast of. Dom, who does the podcast tomorrow. We'll do tomorrow the best ever author story time. But he put a book the same time I put out Mercenary Reincarnated as a Chef, and I beat him. I should probably link this book. I got to put my books in the chat as well. Also, I'm gonna put in some audiobook codes because I have like some audiobook codes to give away. I'll just post those in the chat. Whatever works, go for it. They're just free codes. I usually give them to my Patreon and stuff, but nobody wanted them because they all have them. They all bought the book. My Patreon people are great, man. Shout out to my Patreon people. You guys are the best. Like I'm the worst Patreon guy. Like I don't post regularly. I don't do all the things I'm gonna do, should do. Like, I'm so shitty at it. I should be better. But you guys, like, all my Patreons are awesome. They're so awesome. They're so awesome. Although I do put my books in there early every time, so everybody gets a free book. Like whenever I do, like the one thing I'm good about in Patreon is like when I finish a book, I just put it in there and you get it for free. Well, I mean, you know, for paying for Patreon, obviously. But like if you give me $1 a month, I feel like that deserves the early access to the books and stuff. You know, the only problem is I say I'm gonna try to put a chapter out a week, and I do like a chapter a month, and then I do like 10 chapters in a month or 15. And so it's not like I'm not as consistent as I'd like. So anyway, back to the Adam Beswick. So I was talking smack. So I used him as like my bar. I was like, hey, you got a book out? I got a book out, same time. Let's go. We're going to be competing. And he obviously wasn't competing with me. But my book's been out since April 28th. We're still in 11,000, 12,000. It got pretty good. It went up to like the thousands, like low thousands. It's the first book in a series. So like that's expected. But book 2 comes out, 9 days? Man, so it'll shoot back up to the thousands, and because it's book 2 coming out in the 3-book series, book 1 will blow back up, book 2 will do well. Like I think it should get in the hundreds. I think we should be in the. I would like to be in the 500s. That would be the ideal. One side of my cat again. Hi Wesley. Come here. Hey. 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 This is Wesley. He is. That's his butt. Oh, stupid. Okay, so book 1 will shoot back up into the hundreds. It didn't get into the hundreds the first time because a few reasons. One, it's a new series and the market is saturated, like I was talking about. It is 4 million books a year on KU. I know it. I'll find the number somewhere else, but I know that it's 4 million new titles a year are released this year. 4 million. So that means that the market is there's oversaturation. Like there's almost no way. There's almost, I'm saying almost, practically no way for your book to get noticed on Amazon, Kindle anymore without some type of marketing or social media presence. And that is the whole point of this stream and why I started it and why I do the podcast with Dom. Because the barrier to entry before on Amazon was super duper low as it was. You didn't need, like you could publish a book on Amazon with no overhead, basically. If you have a computer, you could do it. Now, granted, it may not be good, whatever, you uncover all this stuff, which I did when I started. But now, with AI, the barrier entry is even lower because AI can do most of the stuff. And a lot of people are using AI to make books. And not for nothing, people are going to complain and they're going to cry and they're going to shout about it, but it's not going to change the fact that people are using AI more and more and more. And it's too slow. I need something more pick me up. It's coming more and more and more and more. And it's going to be more and more and more and more until it's so inundated, people aren't going to realize what's AI and what's not. The people are just already since for the last like few years, they're winning awards and competing in these competitions with AI, and it's like, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. So, with that being said, I'm not doom and gloom. I believe that to get your books to stand out and to be successful as a self-published or indie writer, you have to market your books. And that means you have to build a brand, which my buddy Dom, which I'm using him all the time as an example because he has a lot of good insight. For being a dumb cunt, no, I'm kidding. He's awesome. He's a great dude. But he's got a lot of good insight. And I know one of his friends and him was talking, and they told me a story about like how personal branding is really the way forward if you want to sell your stuff. And I think I was kind of fighting it before, but with AI and the proliferation of AI, it really is going to be, at least for the next couple of years, maybe for the next year. All right, let's do This is going to be a second. Put this on. I want to see this report. Where do they start talking about it? Maybe do they have notes? All right. Well, we'll do some reactions in a minute. Reading is dead. We'll do that one too. I like these guys a lot. There's a couple reading KDP videos I think are pretty good. They're pretty good. Okay, what was else? X, that's done. Let's go home. Yo, some of these people are crazy. I want to do a little bit of reaction on X just because that's where a lot of crazy shit is. I just wanted these people are nuts. So anyway, I know I'm bouncing all over the place, but that's how my brain works. So Mercenary came out. Book 2 comes out soon. It's phenomenal. It's gonna be great. Let me post this in the chat. MRAC book 1. Do. All right. So let me see if he's in Coming of Fantasy still. Let's see where his book is ranked. Okay, so when we came out, like I killed him for the first April 28th. But now see he's ahead of me. This is his publishing company. He's in the 2000s. But see, I was up there in the 2000s for most of the past couple months. The thing was, I stopped last week paying for marketing. Like, so Amazon ads. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. That's part of the whole 4 million new books a year. So you really, I've said this on the podcast, but I truly believe, and this is it's just my feelings, not facts, but from anecdotally from what I see and checking the numbers and page reads and everything, if you aren't spending money on Amazon ads for your book, at least a couple dollars a day, like I recommend 5 to 10, but at least 2 to 3, then like you are not, your book isn't going to be seen as much. Now it'll come, like if you have a following, you'll do okay, but like it's not going to be seen by other people. But right now, because I'm at 11.9, right? If I clicked my Amazon ads back on, I'd be at 4 to 5 again in a couple days. But I'm using my marketing budget for other books right now because I got From Chef book 7 coming out next month. Even though Mercenary Reincarnated as a Chef book 2 is coming out this month, I am going to switch the marketing dollars I'm putting out for From Chef to Mercenary when it comes out, and then put those marketing dollars back to From Chef when From Chef book 7 comes out. But right now I'm trying to push From Chef 1 through 6 to get it in the algorithm doing better, because book 1 is doing fine. Like the difference between 5 and 10,000 is like 5-6 books a day. Like it's not that much. We'll talk about that in a little bit too, but the amount of sales you need to generate per day goes up exponentially the closer you get to the number 1, you know? Like basically 5,000 and above to like 5,000 to like 15,000 are roughly similar. Like you have a couple, 4 to 5 sales a day that may be different, but like if you're selling 4 to 5,000 Kindle page reads and you sell 5 to 6 books a day on one book, you'll be in 5,000s. Like that's not crazy high. I'm sorry, 10 to 15 books a day. Yeah, 10 to 15 books a day, you'll be there. So if you sell 5 to 10, you're in the 10,000s, so yeah. Anyway, so this comes out in a month. I'm super excited about that. Let me put that in the chat. The thing about Mercenary is this is my first publisher series. Like I worked with Athon Books. This is my first time. Everything else I've done is self-published. So It's been cool, man. They're great to work with. Like they have they have an editor who edited my books. Great guy, Jacob. Um, they did the covers. Steve and Rhett, the owners, are great dudes. They're just cool, you know. Um, it went well. Uh, my books, what I self-published, have done better, like a lot better. But then again, I probably pushed harder for those books, like marketing, Facebook posts, Reddit, all those things, you know, because like that's how I always do it. And then for some reason for book one, I expected them to do a lot of it, but then I was like, oh crap, no, I need to do that. So I started a little later with like posting and stuff in Facebook and all that stuff. But so it still worked out. But you know, I have that experience now, so I'll just make sure to do that with this book when it comes out. 9 days. You know, I wrote this first book, Mercenary Reincarnated Chef 1, 3 years ago, back when I went to 20 Books 50K in Vegas. That's where I met my podcast partner. And book 2 took like 2 years, book 3 took another year. So it was like 3 years in the making. But I'm glad to finish the series. It was good. And I think it's a good story. Like, it's a good trilogy. There's a beginning, there's a middle, and an end. And it's got a good end. And it's got a good end to where it can end. Like, it's a satisfying conclusion. Or I could make another series. But I don't think I really want to. Because I like to make new stuff. I like to move on. All right. That's posted. I should post all my books because that's what you do to make sure everybody has the links. Links in the chat. Buy my books. That is the best way you could support me. You know, all that jazz. I've got new covers I'm putting out. I've been using, people are going to hate this. I've been using Amazon, Claude, AI, Claude Anthropic, and I've been training it, a graphic design agent to do the covers I want. These are all not AI. This is done by the cover artist, Jose. He's awesome. He's done all of the covers, these, except for this one. This one is AI. It's his, and then I've been messing with it with AI. But I think the play I'm going to do is do the covers in AI and then send them to Jose and have him fix them, make them really good, you know, tell him this is what I want, what can you do? And he's pretty good. I wanted this like RTS feel, like this like, you know, gaming feel to it, but that's just not what's trending in the genre anymore. And it's this like first person-y kind of view. So that's why I have like, I'm changing, like you can see the I Am Gamer in the corner of the screen. That's the new cover coming out for I Am Gamer. So I'm gonna do all new covers, which, look, man, I know people hate this. I know people hate this. I know people hate AI. I fucking know it. I know it. I get it. I understand completely. I 100% understand why you hate AI. I understand why people are scared of AI. I get it's coming for your jobs. I blah, blah, all the things. I get it all. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Like, there's apps. It's like the tide, you know, the ocean tide. It's like the sun setting, like, or rising. Like, AI is coming, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. And the choices are accept it and do nothing. Just do nothing. Don't prepare. Fight it and lose everything. That's what's going to happen. Or embrace it, figure out how to use it, and make yourself an expert at it, so you are one of the people that know how to do it. Like, if you haven't used AI, even if you hate AI, you should be using it to understand it. And if you haven't, then you have no idea how good it is. People talk on all these I want to do some reactions today because, like, I feel like it's fun, and I finally figured out on YouTube to not get copyright strike, you do reaction videos, not watching videos. I'm fucking dumbass. Yeah, I know I'm a dumbass. But AI is already better than 80% of the people at any job it can do. And I'm going to say that again. the leading artificial intelligence that you can purchase, whether it's Anthropic, ChatGPT, Grok, even free AI, Kimmy, these are better than 80% of the people in any industry, any of them. They just are. And it's not, I'm not trying to like oversell it or anything. It's just true. And like, that's crazy scary. It's crazy scary. It's crazy scary. Like I'm watching I don't know, man. It's crazy. I'm watching these people use it to write. It's crazy. It's how good it is. The editor, like line editing's already there. Like if you want grammar and line editing, it's already there. It's already better than $5,000 editors. If you want to pay $5,000, $4 or $5,000, $3,000 to $5,000 to get your book edited by an editor, you can pay for Grammarly, Pro Writing Aid, and a top of the line AI, and you can have your book edited by a professional, and it's better than you would get by anybody on Fiverr, better than anybody on Fiverr, 100%. Unless you have a professional, like legitimate editor that's like in the business, like top tier expert editor, like top 10, 15%, AI is better. Like the guy, Jacob over at Athon Books, better than AI. Better than AI, worth every penny. So amazing. Best editor. Funny, understands the way the book reads, understands it all. Like top tier editor. I'd pay him, if I wasn't working with Athon Books, to edit my books. I would pay him a couple $1,000s a book because it's worth it. Other than that, there's not many people that I would pay that to that I've met. Now, there are people who offer their services for a couple $1,000s, and I look at books they've edited, and it's not great. I've also found that when you get somebody who says they're going to line edit your book, they're not that good. You can use AI to line edit your book 10 times a day. You can find 100% of the grammar mistakes. 100. Not 99, not 95. 100% of grammar mistakes can be found with Grammarly, Pro Writing Aid, and or top of line AI. That's just facts. It's just facts. All right, let's hear this. Let's see what these cats are saying about move me. How do I move me? Over there. No, let's move me here. Here. Too big. Nope. Too small. Do. Well, you know what? We'll just move me down here a little bit tiny. Okay, let's see what this. Well, I don't want it to. Here's the thing. I'm afraid of getting shadow banned. So like, let's just, there we go. Let's do that. What if we go, hey, okay. So let's listen to what they're saying about this. Simon and Schuster, let me get backstory. Simon and Schuster is the big publisher, big trad publisher. There's an article that came out about their numbers, sales numbers. And the article basically says trad published authors, traditionally published authors, sell less than 1,200 books a year. 50% of traditionally published, that's what it says. And it says some other numbers like indie publishers make more, 4 to 5, like it's just like a whole thing. But I think the numbers are skewed, and I think the article is skewed because the trad publishers use a circular economic plan. So what they do is like Simon Schuster, Tor, Random House, any of these big traditional publishers, right? They have people in the media, people at bookstores, people in libraries that pay them money for whatever books they put out. And so then, but that money goes back in to these bookstores and these media companies and these trad publishers. So like, while on the outside it may look like 1,200 book sales, it's like way more than that because they have this circular income. Same thing that the music companies do and stuff. Like there's this like way that they push the projects they want to make money, and then that money comes back in. It's a circular economy. Most people don't understand how that works. Now, because people don't understand how that works, this article comes out by Simon Schuster and says, "Oh, trad fucking authors only make, blah 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 blah, and these people blah 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 blah." Now, it's true, sort of. The report they're gonna put out doesn't talk about digital ebooks sold total for these companies, because the companies don't put those numbers out. It's just like hard copies and different things. So it's not a really good basis to. It's not a good article to base your. I wouldn't gamble the fucking family farm on it.
Talk about the death of creativity right now, or something that I see that is killing creativity, because there is an argument raging on social media in all the chatter, and this keeps making the rounds. Okay, a new Simon and Schuster report.
Okay, so he's gonna break down the report. And yeah, I'll be pausing and unpausing a lot because I'm just fucking getting used to this reaction thing, and I don't want to get copyright struck.
Came out or something, and it shows that trads only sell 12 books on average anyway. And
okay, 12, not 1,200, 12, and they're talking hard copies.
So that just started the war again. Indies were like, "Yeah, go us, because we're awesome," and I'm like, "You sold 4 books in the last year. What are you talking about?" And the trads were like, "Well, we don't like those numbers anyway. The numbers are misleading," and so it's like.
And again, the numbers are misleading because trad publishers have a circular economy and they can't put those numbers out. When you go to Barnes and Noble and you see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of books out there, well, if those books don't sell, they rip the cover off and send the book back to the company, and they get credit back for that book. So if you have a book on that shelf for 2 years, right, you get credit for those sales. But 2 years later, those books get sent back to the publisher, and that money gets sent back to the store. So it looks like you sold all these books, but you didn't sell all these books.
Guys, what are we comparing ourselves to here? Okay, are you writing a book your readers want? Are you actually achieving the definition of success that you're looking for? I mean, we talked about that earlier. Okay, when I read a book, I don't care if the author is indie. I care if the author is good.
Where I think he's going with this is to not break down the article so much by sales, but to be like, hey, write a book that's good, and doesn't matter if you're indie or trad, you'll make a bunch of money. Kinda, that's kind of true. If you write a good book and people like it, you should make good money, because a good book stands on its own. Now, if you wrote a good book and people don't like it, well, it's because your book just didn't hit what people want to read. It doesn't mean it's a bad book. It just means it's not a book that people want to read, and there's not much you can do about it. You can only change the cover so many times. You can only, market it so much. But if people don't like it, people don't like it. And the truth is, people don't like a lot of stuff. And remember, if you want to be like a dungeon crawler Carl, or somebody like that, you got to write at an 8th grade intelligence level. That's the average person. 5th grade is speaking level, but 8th grade is average intelligence. And it's not bad. It just is, just remember that, but if you don't want to do that, if you want to do a niche, you're looking for niche authors sales. If you want to curate an audience, write certain kinds of books, that's what I do, and I write to people that like my stuff. So I have a smaller audience, but I have a dedicated audience. So it's really kind of how you want to do it.
Yeah. All right. I am willing to pay $16.99 for my Horus Heresy ebook, because that's the only way I can get my Horus Heresy ebook.
He's talking about Warhammer 40K, Space Marines, Horus Heresy. And because that's Space Marines, Warhammer, it's going to be more expensive. And he's saying he'll pay for that. But yeah, of course you will. It's because you love it. It's like buying Dungeons and Dragons books or whatever, finding something that's popular, you would pay for that. But you're not going to pay for some brand new book you never heard of $17. He's not going to pay $16.99 for some brand new book.
And that is trad. I hate the company. They're woke. But the stories are good. And I really like the stories. I don't understand how the company is this woke and keeps making stories that are that good. It just boggles my mind. They're going to tank their own franchise. I don't understand it.
Or they'll adapt and realize that.
Well, they're actually experiencing a buyout right now. I think they're trying to pivot in terms of their social engagement. Most readers operate the same way. Okay, you just want a good book, right? You just want to read.
I mean, I would say that's true for most readers. There's popular culture reading that isn't like a good book. It's just people reading pop culture, but for the most part,
a good book. I want a decent cover. I want something that doesn't look like it was mimeographed. Okay, and I want someone who can string words together comprehensively in a way that makes me feel something. Okay, and authors we're doing this apples to apples comparison that doesn't exist when it comes to artistic expression. Now,
I wonder what he means by that.
If you want to try to do the AI generation thing, you actually are doing an apples to apples comparison. You're just talking what kind of director you are at that point instead of what kind of prose writer you are, kind of voice that you have. I don't compare my voice to Brian's. Okay, if I'm going to read.
What he's saying is, if you're going to use AI to write your books, you're not a writer, you're a director, and you're directing somebody to write, like, which is like kind of like using a ghostwriter, but it's AI. So yeah, I see what he's saying. That's true. That's true.
Brian's book, it's because I'm going to steal his perspective on logistics and stuff. Because that's his background, right? And I need to know more about logistics. And so I'm going to read Brian's book so that I can steal his perspective on logistics. Oh, I should probably think about this.
What he means, and I think I know what he's saying. So like, let's say you are a writer. I mean, I imagine if you're watching my podcast, you're a writer or want to be a writer. And you're writing a lit RPG. And it's about whatever, blah, 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 blah. And there's a scene coming up where you need to write a doctor stitching somebody up, they're setting bones or something. Maybe you would read a book or something that has a scene like that so you could see how it goes. And that's what he means. Like, how would I write that? Because a lot of writing isn't like coming up with the idea. It's how do you put that idea down on paper in a way that people understand that makes sense. I know that seems pretty fucking basic, but that's what stops people from writing. I don't know if you know this. If you're a writer and you can't get the shit out, like you can't write down, it's not because like you don't have the creativity. You have the creativity. It's because you don't know what to say, it's how to say it. A lot of people think about what he's saying as like a bad thing, but every book is a copy of the oldest book. Like I've had this conversation so many times. There's 7 archetypes. There's like 7 story plots, and they're all combinations of that. And like you see it with it's like a running joke in The Simpsons, or the South Park. Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. It's true. Most of this stuff's done. The twist, the way to be successful is finding something taking that story and making it a new version of that, a new version of the old story, a new version of the hero's journey, a new version of Star Wars, a new version of Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? And what he's saying is he's taking inspiration is the word he's looking for. Inspiration from his friend on logistics.
Okay. But the Bible says in 2 Corinthians 10:12, we dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves. But they, measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves, are not wise. And all
right. I don't feel like breaking down biblical scripture. Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, if you don't know the name, said, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. No. That's the director. What's his name? Oscar Wilde. Thank you. Satire is the homage which mediocrity pays to genius. They're all since things like this, but this isn't actually his quote. That's not actually his quote. That's like a twist of it. But basically, what did Samuel Clemens say about imitation? Samuel Clemens wrote, in literature, imitations do not imitate. That is the truth. So here's the concept. Can you see that? Not really, huh? Let's go. Let's see.
Have operated on this since the military.
Okay, let's go there. Okay. In literature, imitations do not imitate. There's no such thing as a new idea. And Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, he was like one of the proponents of like the zeitgeist, you know, the overarching consciousness, the muse. I don't know. That's real popular now. I think it's a real thing. I mean, I'm not sure like the specifics of it, but like there's this Rogan podcast, and I think Stephen Pressfield, The War of Art. Now, I found that book not good. It was not a good read. The War of Art is not a good read. It's just not. I don't care what anybody says. It's just not a good read. But it's got a great premise, and it's got a great rule, story, whatever you want. It's got a great premise, and it's got like the idea is great. Like you have to sit down every day and summon the muse. Basically, it's like sit down and do your job. Like every day, you got to do it. Wrote. Every day, same time, or if not same time, as close as you can get. Sorry, I'm gonna take this thing out and off. All right. Sit down, same time, and write. That's called summoning the muse in the book. You can think of it like that. Or you can think of it as like preparing your mind and your body and, you know, yourself to like work, to do the thing you want to do, to create. Like, what do people do? Like, it's not, I find it kind of frustrating sometimes, very frustrating sometimes. I find it very frustrating sometimes when like people are like, how do you write? What do you like? How do you write? Like, oh, what do you do? You do the same thing you do for every other job you've had in your life. You get up, you get dressed, you get ready, you drink your coffee, you prepare yourself, and then you go to work. I talked about this a couple weeks ago in pod. People have this like fantastical idea in their head that because writing is like something you learn as a kid, like the act of writing, like putting, you know, words down on paper, that you're somehow this expert writer who's going to write a book and have a book out the first time, and you'll be this like amazing, you know, savant. Because they have this weird idea that all these like creators, these authors they've read in their life, like, oh, their first book they wrote was amazing, and it's almost never the case. Never in the history of the world has anybody's first book been their best book, ever. Even these ones you see like Twilight or Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is killing it, 50 Shades of Grey. These aren't like people's first attempts at writing. You know, we're talking years and years and years in the making. Decades almost, some of these people. Stephen King, George R. R. Martin, anybody you know that's famous has been writing for a long time. And it took them a long time to get good. That's just the facts. That's just the truth. So like any other thing, if you want to become a good writer, you have to write, and over time you'll get good at it. And it's just the truth. Like even these people you see on Amazon that are out, they were on Royal Road for 4 or 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years. You know, got to put the work in.
Okay, I don't have to be a better linguist than the linguist sitting next to me. I need to understand the material I'm listening to well enough to kill a terrorist. That's my job. And that's measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves are not wise. And I have operated on this since the military. Okay, I don't have to be a better linguist than the linguist sitting next to me. I need to understand the.
I hear what he's saying. He's saying when he was in the military. Yeah. I got you.
My GPA, I'm going to get into a better college after this. No, guys, I'm just trying to keep Marines alive, and then it matters what kind of weapons they are in.
And
so when I compare myself to Brian, me and Brian don't different sub goals. Okay, I want to write a kinetic fight.
They aren't going to
goes all over the place,
right.
and I'm happy for him.
I want to see something else about this. I don't know. They're not talking about it enough. Where is this? Maybe I saw it on X. Simon Schuster article. Okay, here it is. Let's see. This is not right, by the way. So this is where's the actual. Okay, here it is. Here it is. There we go. There we go. All right. I think she has a podcast too. Jane Friedman, is that right? Yeah, I saw a couple of her. Okay. So let's see. All right, let me stretch. And then we'll put this up bigger so we can read it. Let's see. All right. Is that readable? There. Okay, this article is by Jane Friedman. It's her blog. Why book sales figures are so hard to interpret and complete sales figures nearly impossible to find. Okay, so this article is old. This came out on April 29th this year, and it was just updated last month, 2 months ago. All right. The most consequential reporting mistake I've ever made was to publish an unsourced data point from the DOJ versus Penguin Random House antitrust trial in 2022. During this trial, the government had to prove that anticipated top-selling books, those receiving an advance of $250,000 or higher, are treated differently by publishers, and market harm would occur to authors of such books if PRH, that's the biggest publishing houses, that's Penguin Random House, that's PRH, acquired Simon & Schuster. So this might be an antitrust thing. The DOJ won the case, and they didn't acquire Simon & Schuster. An equity firm did. Countless publishing statistics discussed. There's many of them. Okay, for example, here's a statistic. Excuse me. For example, of the 58,000 trad titles published, trad traditional published titles per year, half of those titles sell fewer than 1 dozen books, and more broadly, 90% of titles sell fewer than 2,000 units. I think that is just hard copy. I'm pretty sure that's just hard copy. Maybe. The general public, along with the general public, along with authors and readers, tends to believe books sell far more than they actually do. This is 100% true. Leads disbelief, online sharing numbers, blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. Okay. So she's one of the perpetrators of this. All right. Debunked by author Lincoln Michel. Okay, so this person says, like I said, that it's probably just paperback or hard copy sales. Then this person who's a analyst for BookScan Okay, so this data set said they only took the data from the publisher, not who they source them out to. So less than 0.4% sold 100,000 copies, less than 0.7 between 50,000 and 100,000, 2.2, 20,000 to 49,000, 3.4, 1,500. Okay. Okay, so here's the number thing here. 51% sold between 12 and 999 copies. That means 15%, 6,000, 7,000 sold less than 12. So 66% sold less than 1,000 copies over a year. And it's just print books. They're not talking about ebooks. So that's why it's skewed. It's not correct. So this whole argument about this report is not correct. It's just not correct. Trad authors make more if they are in the top 50%. It's not 12. Yeah, it's just US print. For self-published, okay, here's the big difference, right? As a self-publisher, you make 70% of your royalties. 30% goes to Amazon. If you self-publish. If you self-publish wide, you can have all of them, but you still have to give a certain percentage to Amazon if you publish on Amazon, but you can go wide and get the full. But it's like 70, 80% really is what you get. Oh, okay. All right, so this is just basically a bullshit article. It's basically a bullshit article, and everybody got all jacked up on it for no reason. Like, where did I? Okay, yeah, it's just kind of a BS.
It's pretty
article.
Painful, and it's the first book is not going to pay off.
No,
on average, 6
Where's
to
this
10
at?
books to become
Where's this at?
profitable as in the fiction world.
All right, yeah, so that's just wrong. That's just wrong. It's just not true. Just not true. Like, for me, if you go into the alternative history time travel space, right? Like, some of these books are just going to be here forever. Like Stephen King's books, going to be the R.F. Kuang. These are like super popular. This is I don't know, that's a newer, or this is like a indie published book 12, book 13. If you get rid of like Stephen King and R.F. Kuang, which these are old books that are just like grandfathered in, sells to schools, sells to different things that they are going to be pretty high every time. There's certain alternative history authors like Douglas E. Richards. Oh, J.R. Matthews is in here now. He's at Porto Nova Roma. He's one of them. Bad Blend. He puts lots of books out quickly. T.K. Blackwood. William Allen Webb. I'm putting books out for a while. Who else? She's pretty good, but she hasn't put anything new out in a long time. Chris Fox. Yeah, that's about it. Taylor Anderson, he's one of the big names. Taylor Anderson would be a huge name. Harry Turtledove. S.M. Sterling. Then you have like, that's about it for there. Travis Stearns, and then like there's myself. Like there's probably 20 really popular alternative history time travel authors, and I'm top 5, top 10, right? In the world. And I sell probably 10 to 15,000 plus copies of each of my alternative history books. You know, so if that number was right for that, if that was the correct number for the article, I would be like top 0.4%. It's just not right. It's just not correct. I want to see these. What is this guy? Brian C. Thompson. I'm always down for a new oh, okay, he's just redoing World War II. Meh. Oh, is he doing like a new Civil War, I bet? Let's see. Oh no, they're doing yeah, they're redoing, this is a redo of Civil War or World War II. I'm kind of tired of World War II, man. Like everybody does it. It's kind of boring. Maybe like a World War II lit RPG might be fun, but I'm kind of over it. Okay, so this is a stupid article, debunked. I debunked it. Debunked. Let's see what else is going on. Anything popping on X? Owen Benjamin's getting really crazy. This stuff's stupid. This guy's stupid. Oh, you know what's cool? There's a new D&D guy. There's a new head of Dungeons and Dragons. There's a new like COO. What's his name? Peter or something. Where is it? Or something. Where's he at? I follow him. How do you go to follows? I do not know how to use fucking X. I just don't. It's like, no, I do know how to use it. It's just like a more advanced BBS, you know? If you grew up in the 80s and 90s like me, you know what a BBS is. It's just a bulletin board system. That's all this is. With images and video. Don't look at those too often because then you'll get sucked in. Well, where is he? How about profile? Nope. How do you find... These are all my pimping my books out. Andre. I know I've shown some of this stuff. Where's he at? Oh, you have to go to likes. Where's that at? Likes. Nope. Oh, this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I have to admit, this is pretty cool. I'm a nerd. This is fucking dope. This is great. I was like waiting for his hair to catch on fire the whole time. Such guy stuff.
That's heavy.
Oh, that's funny. This is pretty good. Danny is a writer. India. Oh, here we go. No, this isn't it. Although, this is, if you haven't read D&D, old D&D books, Dragonlance, Margaret Weiss, Tracy Hickman, they were a married couple. I'm pretty sure they're divorced now. Great. Dragonlance, great series. That was a cool map. James Lucas, that's not it. Psyop anime, I like that. This guy does Kevin Lamb, this is the guy's name. He is a new D&D guy. I think he's in charge of D&D, and he's bringing back Dragonlance. But I could be wrong. I thought he is, but maybe I'm wrong. I hope so. I think he is. All right. What else is going on? Lit RPG Con over. Music. Talked about books. Talked about whatever. Been streaming for an hour. Talked about AI. Talked about MRAC. Mercenary Reincarnated as Chef, book 2's coming out. I think that's enough for the day, folks. I think I'm going to call it. This did not do as well as I wanted. Mercenary Reincarnated as a Chef. I mean, My Island didn't do as well as I want, but it's okay. I'm still going to put books 2 and 3 out. They're good. Coming along. This will be good. War Academy Redux, the re-release didn't do as well as I liked either, but it's all right. It's all right. You know, sometimes the book releases don't, you know, do as well as you want, but you just got to keep putting them out. Keep putting them out. That's it. All right. What else? I think it's probably time to call it a day. Get out of here. Yes. All right. I am going to start working on my rewrites and edits for Mercenary Reincarnated. No. From Chef to Crafter to Conqueror, book 7. This is what happens when you put a book out every month. Right now, we're at 98,000 words. By the time I'm done, it'll be over 100,000, which is about the number I want to hit. 100,000 words is the good number for a good word count for a novel. You know what? Before we go, let's take a look and see what's trending on Royal Road. I haven't posted anything in a while. Let's see. What do we got here? Slumdog Hero. Okay. Alexa Time. Okay. Well, that's probably not. Latest update. Rising Stars. Nuclear Sun. I Am Weapon. Void Crown. Bite the Stars. How to Survive a Star. So if you want to read, like, if you've read He Who Fights with Monsters, if you've read Dungeon Crawler Carl, if you've read Defiance of the Fall, if you've read almost anything in lit RPG or progression fantasy, it's probably started on Royal Road. So that's just a heads up. If you want to read stuff like that, this is where everybody posts before they put it on Amazon. This is an Amazon affiliate. You can build yourself a decent following. If you have a book, if you want to write for like 6 months to a year, put chapters out each week, each day, if you can. But yeah. Okay, I'm out of here, folks. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with the Best Ever Authors Storytime podcast with my partner in crime, Dominique Mondesi. And everybody else, thank you for watching. As usual, like, subscribe, and if not, buy the books. Buy my books. Links are in the chat. All right, everybody have a great day. Deuces. Peace out. Take care. Adios.